like the good life. Shaking hands, man to man, some suit saying he's got it in. Rubbing elbows with all the need to knows, where the girls are just as fine as the brand. Ain't no love like the good love, ain't no fun like the good fight. I've been strung out, I've been clean, somewhere in between the dark and the light. There ain't no life like the good life.
Oh, welcome. We got Christian, Henny, Metal Gear, Them Dirty Roses. Very good song. Hope you guys are well. Here in the good old US of A, we celebrated July 4th yesterday. And I had some steak and some burgers, hung out with a couple good friends of mine from college, and yeah, 2 of them are divorced and 2 of them are married. So there you go. Nick Vincent in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Dopamine is a hell of a drug. Sure is. Excellent day to you. Who? Hope you are well. Metal Gear having some Wagyu burgers. I had some sort of, we had a nice ribeye cut, and we chopped it up in multiple smaller sections, ate it by hand. It was just so delicious. It was like a 4-hour barbecue. But anyhow, today's topic is probably the most important topic that a man can find out about and apply to himself. It's worked for me, and why it doesn't work when you don't use it, and why life goes a shitty way if you don't understand the concept. Timmy Kramer in the house. Men, get out to San Diego ASAP. Amazing weather and awesome beaches. Can't wait to return. Don't get married. America. Jeremy Bailey, all good news here, Rad. Glad you enjoyed your July 4th. Is it normally a public holiday for yes, pretty much everybody shuts down. It was Friday, so most businesses are off. I mean, fast food's still going. There are businesses still open, but you know, the majority, corporate type, takes the day off. The Great Experiment, 250 years. Long live the Republic. Next year, 250. But anyhow, self-validation. Why is it so important? Whatever follows I am is self-validation. If you say I am not, you're still validating yourself in a negative way. Why is this important? Because most men are always seeking the validation of others, especially the female validation, which is really, if you think about it, fake validation. The only person that can truly validate yourself is you. We talk about this all the time. And this is probably the most difficult concept for men, because a lot of guys, we're interwoven in our story, right? We're interwoven in a story of we're not good enough. We're not worthy enough. Whatever the case may be, we're not good looking enough, as incels would say. We don't have enough money. We're always constantly weaving a story of what we aren't, or what we don't have, or what has happened to us. A lot of times, a lot of us went in, got married. Hopefully we would get fixed our, insecurities or our weaknesses. Your wife would have fixed you. Well, we know that didn't work. And the only way back to true self is self-validation. Whatever follows I am will be true for you. I got a buddy my age, continues to tell himself that he's a loser. I'm a loser for not going in this career. I'm a loser to my wife. My kids thinks I'm a loser. Well, guess what he gets? More of that. And I said, why don't you just change your thoughts to I'm getting better every day? Something the brain and the subconscious can listen to. Any man going through a difficult time, it starts like that. If you're negative $10,000 and you say, I'm rich, well, it's going to be hard for the subconscious to get around that. But if you say, every day I'm increasing my wealth, well, that's an easier concept to grasp onto. Every day I'm losing a little bit more weight. Every day I'm making better food choices. It's these types of things that men and women could use to self-validate themselves. There's nobody else that's going to do it for you. There's no quick fix. There's no not this, not that. We've been, especially a lot of us men, 40, 50 years, 60 years, indoctrinated, programmed to think a certain way. But just the little things. I'm good enough. I'm a good person. Every one of you is a good person. Some of the greatest things you can do is love yourself. If you could find a way to love yourself, that is your superpower. Beware of the external validation of others. You be what you say. Well said, who? It cannot be done with any external validation. We be happy for us. External validation gets most men in trouble. They seek the validation of women. And it feels good. Let's be real. Every single one of us that was with a woman were validated by a woman. They either said we're attractive, they love being with us, they enjoy our company, we're funny, whatever they did to validate it. It feels good. But we held on to that validation too long, and we didn't really nurture our own self-validation. Any validation you get from a woman is for her own selfish interest, says Nick. It's negative talk, and it's as destructive as physical beatings. It lasts longer. Well said. I mean, I got buddies that they're still negative on themselves. That's why people don't progress. They just continue to say the same stories every single day about themselves. But if I gave one simple advice, which worked for me, I'm worthy. I'm deserving of everything good in this life. Regardless of what you've come from, I like myself. I'm my own best friend. I love myself. Those are the simplest ways. And eventually you'll mean it. George, good to see you. Hey, Rad, looking good. Good to see you, brother, from Romania. Timmy, Rad, thanks for helping men in society. Well, we all help each other, that's for sure. Every single one of you have experiences and wisdom that I learned from as well. But appreciate you, Timmy, in San Diego, hanging out, grilling some veggies and some steak. Simply, would you treat someone else the way you treat yourself? Yes or no? Then do better. I think that's great. I mean, if we truly understand this concept, and it's, if there's a lot of guys negative on themselves, what they've been through, I'm not good enough. I was a terrible, I went through the court system. She dumped me for another guy, so we begin to believe that we're not worth it, that we're not worthy to have, connections in life, or to be, to be validated. But we validate ourselves. That's it. Metal Gear says he's better off in monk mode. Good for you, brother. Brotherhood is strong. I would agree with that. I'm deserving as anybody else, and if you feel differently, then that's an issue. It takes work to find those answers. The hardest work you're going to do is on yourself. No doubt. Hardest work I ever did was to figure out who I was after the divorce, because I figured I lost myself in a good way, raising kids and providing. But then I had to figure out who I was afterward. Was I all those things that she had said about me? There was a part of me that believed it. Until, well, actually, I went and I started seeing myself differently. I started calming, and that was probably a good thing, moving out of the house, the marital house, and calming that voice down. I didn't hear it every single day. And then I began to build upon me, started putting together my apartment. I started putting together furniture. I started doing the things to move forward. And I started thinking, hey, you know what? I can get through this. I can go another 20 feet, right? The old headlight analogy. Every day, every minute, we get better. Why did she cheat on me? If only I did this, that, the other day. She didn't want to stay. It's not on you. Well said. Never chase those broads, says Christian. Whether it's a female celebrity named Naomi or some girl named Riley, I couldn't care and don't choose. Attaboy. Red Brick, good to see you. Self-validation is complicated when the community shuts the door after a false alligator. Sure. Absolutely. Nick says, basically, we're all on our own. We've always been alone, but we've been programmed to seek validation from others. Well said. Don't waste energy with them. We give a lot of energy. We've given a lot of energy to people, men and women, bosses, toxic friends, toxic family members. Big world. Most adults never mature past middle school. The adult world is about clicks. You're absolutely right, brother. 100%. I always say it's high school after you get out of high school. It's still high school. Timothy Soko, San Pedro, quit seeking validation from others. You do you as you see fit. Well said. Words of wisdom by Mr. Timothy. Timmy, protector and provider, always for myself. I refuse the scam. Thank you to Uncle Bill. We should buy Uncle Bill a tall one in the next life. It's important to strive for a better version of yourself rather than complaining. Well said. Any energy, whether you're complaining or trying to do better, is the same energy, if you think about it. Apply that energy, that might have a benefit. I'm not saying if you're upset in the moment, you're upset at yourself, maybe you did something, fine. Allow yourself to feel what you feel and then get back on the wagon. You know, everybody makes mistakes. I'm no different, but I can get back on the wagon. I can stop. I don't have to make that mistake again. You accept it and move on. Jonas, good to see you in the chat. There's one thing I don't like about this world is that everything has gotten expensive. It's expensive in money, energy, attention, and time. Well said. I refuse to be wrongfully fettered by the rules of society because it seems like a no-win no matter what we do. A man is his own property. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges, especially in the programming of life through governments, religion, education, and, corporate. I was talking to my neighbor. And her kids are empty nesters, and we're talking, she knows I'm moving because the house is for sale and so forth. Why don't you just want to stay around here? I go, I got a life to live. I'm not going to watch my kids live their life. They can live their life and we can connect down the road. I'm not going to be a helicopter parent, making sure every decision is right. My parents, man, they didn't, my dad, when I left the house, it's like, good for you. Go out and spread your wings. And best thing he could do is just cut the cord. But people are too afraid or not, they don't have the confidence to do things to push themselves. So they stay in the same rut. You felt shaken after your divorce, but I'm glad she left. I basically told her, if you don't want to be with me, then leave. You got to be able to let go. Absolutely. That is probably the biggest challenge for men, letting go of the investment they paid. Good for you. Good for you, who? We did our best to keep them happy. We sure did. Nick Vincent, when you get gaslighted for being selfish, say, yep, that's me. Be more bastard, be more selfish. The best thing you can say to anyone, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. Use that. I love it. I use it all the time. Especially when I go out with gals every now and again, they'll say something. What do you think? Well, I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. Some of them like it. Some of them think it's funny. I'm 32 years old. I just celebrated my birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Christian Henning. When the real knowledge is found, no matter what you do, half women will leave. Half women. They're never yours, only your turn. Women have the freedom to leave whenever they want. A lot of them do because they're based on emotions. You know how many guys want to fix women? 99.9%. We all at one point wanted to fix. We can't fix them. They have a different operating system. Gone with John in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Happy 4th to you. Putting out some good content. Mr. Gone with John in Alabama. Your future is not written in stone. We as men have the ability to adjust on the fly. 100%. Who would have thought 10 years ago, every single one of us would be sitting on a YouTube live stream with some nut job named Rebel Against Defeat talking about ways to improve yourself? coming out of unfavorable or favorable situations, however you look at it. So that is the hardest thing for a man to do, is self-concept, self-work. It truly is, but you got to start little. You got to do, number one, do things that push yourself, make you a better person, right? If you out of shape, start learning to lose a half a pound a week. Do the little things will shape entire shorelines. One small pebble thrown into a lake, an ocean, a pond will change the entire shoreline. Think about that. Just one thought differently about yourself. Power. Quantum physics has proven it, but I can save her. There you go. How many guys have said that? Who? My self-validation is underfitted today at work. A new nurse that is married told me, please marry me. Just because I fed her food throughout the day, she could see my validation in me. There you go, Ed. There you go. Well said. Good to see you. Glad to be here. Nut job. I mean, think about it. How many guys, who would have thought? I got off in 1997, our week-long honeymoon. I was head over heels for my lady, and I thought things would go awesome forever. Well, things changed, and that's what happens. But as Timothy said, was it Timothy? We have the ability to change our future with just one thought. Happy Humble Hermit, MGTOW's Freedom, Sunrise Hoodie, Spetsnap, all excellent channels now gone for good. There were some good dudes out there. You know, they've moved on, and all of us will move on at some point. I still enjoy what I do, regardless of, you know, what's going on and with the algorithm. They don't like me. Dwayne Coaster, I cut out sugar and lost 45 pounds this year. Attaboy. That's what we're talking about, brother. Doing the small things that add up. Well, you didn't lose 45 pounds in a day, right? Took a year, but look at that accomplishment. Knocking out 100 grams of sugar a day, and he ends up 45 pounds thinner. Good for you. Those are the things we're talking about. One little step, and that'll add to your self-validation. I can do this. Every little victory will add to the self-validation. Good to see One Mighty and Strong. Hope you're doing well, brother, over in the East Coast. We're only here for a short time. It's your time to enjoy it now. Freedom, not unfreedom. Well said, Nick. I think Stardust did one on that years ago. I think you're right. I remember that. Have you noticed, right, when they want to break up, they want to go on a trip, or they want an expensive tennis bracelet? Yeah, they want to milk that cow one last time. That's what they do. I remember the night before the divorce, the paperwork was set on my kitchen counter. She was really nice for some reason, and apparently that's what they do when they're getting ready to drop the hammer. They get really nice. Well, at least that's what I've heard, the majority of them, because they're upset about the situation, or not upset, who knows. Yeah, good for you, Mr. Dwayne. I think that's great. Any man that can lose his weight. I've lost probably 30 pounds since my divorce. And I've kept it off. Working out, fasting. Today I did a 4-mile hike to the waterfall. I'm killing that hike. I'm doing it every week. And it's like 1,400 feet of elevation, lots of hills. And then I came back and I rode my, it's Saturday. Ate a little lunch, waited 90 minutes, and then did an 8-mile bike ride up the hill. I'm feeling great. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? You got to use the energy you got, or especially with older men you got to keep doing the things every day. I probably take one day off a week. And if I do take a day off, I'll walk for an hour. I got to do something. I got to always move. I got one body. I don't want to lose it. Cut down on refined sugar and alcohol. That's great advice, brother. Great advice. What's a sick thumbnail? Superman is my God. The lore, so many parallels to man. Every man has a kryptonite. Had to say, what up, Rad? Ty M, good to see you. Well, Superman is an ideal, has a superpower, but yet that superpower is dwarfed through kryptonite. And what could be kryptonite? What's a man's kryptonite? External validation. That's man's kryptonite right there. And it appears in the form of a woman, a form of a kiss, a form of a just thinking about you, all sorts of ways. Could be a friend, could be a family member. That's man's kryptonite, external validation. Man's superpower is self-validation. Timmy says, I rarely get on a scale, but religiously lift. Timmy's got some guns, brothers. He is one jacked dude. And it's all natural. All that protein, Timmy, and good eating. I've never tried walking sideways. I've seen people walk backwards. I get that. But yeah, never done that. I should see how that works. The moment you're addicted to the validation of another, you've already taken the first step to your downfall. Well said, Phoenix. Good to see you. That's absolutely correct. Proteins and healthy fats are ace for good eating. I would agree. Am I into horror movies? Nah, I'm not a big horror guy. I like thrillers more than anything. I mean, I like the Saw series. I thought that was cool. I couldn't watch it when they were cutting through the bones, but it didn't affect me that much. 6 years before the divorce, my ex started dating 4 a.m. fitness club, doing 4 a.m. fitness club. It was only my turn. Oh, did she? I bet she went with her makeup on too. Mine started going to the gym about 4 months, started changing her habits, started looking different. I knew something was up. We had challenges, you grow apart, kids come in, they run a number on a marriage. They change the dynamics. No longer are you first. It's the kids. Which I get it because I've had them, but it literally shifts the dynamics of the relationship. I don't care who you are. If you say kids made your marriage better, okay. If you say so, but I see that as very rare. Are there couples who the kids made them better? Possibly. The majority, no. Yoga pants tighter and tighter. Oh yeah. The only yoga pant I like to look at with a lady is the Lululemons. For some reason, the way they cut and the fabric is the best. All those other knockoffs just make their whatever. If you are interested, but that is our superpower: self-validation, self-concept. What do we think about ourselves? If we think negative thoughts, that's our kryptonite right there. Everything you see in this life and ever experienced began with a thought. That phone you're looking at, somebody thought it in their head. That table, that chair, that experience in Europe, that was a thought you had at one point. And then it materialized, it manifested, right? So anything you think will eventually, if you think it a long time, it's gonna appear. My dad would always say, you are what you think. How true was that? That was part of the problem. She constantly threw tantrums and told her I didn't care about her because my son came first. There you go. You get it. Manasseh, there are women who believe their husband should come before their kids. Most of them do. Now, as a newborn that's breastfeeding, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that little bit, innocent little baby should have the attention of both parents before either parent. I get that. But as the kids get older, it continues with that dynamic that the kids are more important. My attorney would always say that women view their kids as prizes, and they put those prizes in front of their husbands. Treat them like dessert. It's not a need. If it's there, cool, but don't treat it something with nutritional. I think that's a great analogy. Treat it like dessert. You really don't need it. And it's sugar, it's going to give you a dopamine rush, but yeah, don't treat it like, the end all and be all. Reverend 20 Peace, the Revster. I'm wearing yoga pants, right? And that doesn't surprise me. Rev's he's hiking up outside of Denver right now, and he's wearing some tights. You're wearing tights, Rev. Good to see our buddy Rev. Check out his channel. Men, save as much money as you can. Veer from any form of debt. Never be a slave to anything or anyone. Well said. Shaka in the chat. Good to see our brother Shaka. Check out his channel too. That's got some good stuff. Hope you are well, my man. Let's see. One Mighty says, all you touch and all you see is all of your life will ever be. Ooh. Sounds like a little Shakespeare or some sort of Doors. Most women see children as a pawn to get what she wants nowadays. Absolutely. They know what kids bring to the equation. That's why a lot of women want to have kids. That child support could add up. Humans are only designed to pair bond long enough to raise kids. It's unnatural to stay together. Our controllers know this, hence marriage and divorce to keep you tethered. I love it. Our overlords know this. Absolutely. Yeah, Nick's not wrong. Nick's not wrong. It's very difficult to maintain. Okay, so my parents are empty nesters. For the last 25 years when my brother left at 20. And their marriage they had to refigure who they were. All their kids are grown up. They're grandparents now. They had to figure it out, but they were committed. It wasn't easy. But yeah, I would say today's modern marriage with kids will not survive. Very rare that it will. Do we push the fact that we don't want them to survive and allow basically orphan kids? Unfortunately, they're virtual orphans in a way. They're going back and forth. But it is what it is. It never fails. These RNs get married. They pop out a kid. They chop off the hair and start to gain the pounds. 100% is she. He knows. He works in a hospital. It was Pink Floyd. I figured it was a classic band like that. Monogamy made betas more beta. 100%. You go look at the bull and the heifer, and that bull is nailing every heifer it can, right? He's the man. He's the alpha. But yet we somehow bring in monogamy. We should really study how monogamy was. Wes from 5 Years of Freedom says, we got married to lock that box up so no one else could hit that box. There's a point to it. We wanted to take that woman off the market and ourselves. We wanted complete ownership of that property. Had to do a double take last night at work. A woman said we were found in 1773. I had to play nice, so I face palmed. And that was about it. I feel sorry for the man she was with. She has no idea. 1773. Well, that was, part of the war. They call that the Revolutionary War. You have 8-10 chance your marriage will fail and lose 70% of everything. 100%. 100%. The odds aren't in favor of modern day relationships, whether a woman wants it or a man wants it. It is unfavorable, especially marriages. Smartphones will ensure any modern marriage won't survive, but you still pay you 100%. 100%, Nick. The downfall of relationships in society has to be technology like that. A picked breeder, says Shaka. Any new channels out there to share? I don't know. That's a good question. Are these men ever going to stop to simp? OnlyFans must be all-time high subscriber. It is pathetic. Well, they get attention. It's usually written by it's not written by the OnlyFans creator. It's like they have management, they have workers, and that guy gets a little emoji back. Hey, handsome. And the guy's got some dopamine, but has no idea. It's probably being written by somebody in the Philippines. I have to get back to mowing lawns this evening. I'll catch it tonight. See you later, brother. Shaka, there's a few animals and birds that are monogamous. I think penguins are. And maybe eagles. Even with the whole husband, she don't want to accept the reality that in less than 5 years, most will be by themselves for their manipulations in this world. The majority. Aren't most divorces settled out of court just by yes? Yes, I was willing to go to a trial, but we settled. I had a very good strategy and attorney, and we settled outside of it. The odds are so favorable. I saw a study that 62% of men between 18 and 45 aren't even looking. No, absolutely. Shaka says, no, big world, only if the couple never had. I don't see a lot of, I mean, you'll see trials in divorce trials, typically when there's a business involved or there's a lot of money. But they typically don't get to that point. Going to trial, if you've gone through the whole legal system, the modifications, this is another word for it. And then it usually the woman will extend it typically. But most divorce attorneys are not trial attorneys, and they don't want to go to trial. A trial would have set me back. Just a retainer on a trial would probably have been $50,000 just for the retainer. You know how fast that'll go? 2 weeks. And then it'll probably be another $100,000 in trial, if not more. You don't want to get to that point. Good thing Tinder and Bumble is going bankrupt, plus the marriage industry, a divorce is still doing good. There you go. The odds are for a lifelong marriage are literally worse odds than the slot machines. They typically, yeah. I mean, I think don't slot machines pay out 40%? That would be 60% marriage, the divorce versus 40% marriage. So yeah, you're right, Phoenix. Rad, tell them to never sign up for stepdaddy. Dude, it kills me every time I see it. We're the only species that does that crap. My buddy is with a gal who has a step kid, and she has 2 step kids from another baby daddy that she can't see because she started dating the new guy who is into a specific chemical compound like Breaking Bad, and then he went to prison. My buddy comes in and plays Captain Save-A-Ho. Why would there be no attorneys in big business? It's business, man. I mean, most people get attorneys, especially unless, like my sister, when she got divorced, her husband was a divorce. He did it all. I think she got a little shafted, but it's, man, the attorney business. I would never want to be an attorney. Maybe if I had to do it all over again, like patent attorney. Every time Tinder and Bumble stock, the whole, I wonder what's going to happen. There's got to be a consolidation of all these dating apps. You're willing to go all the way? Yes. Yes. Just on principle. The scratcher has better odds. The scratch it. No FAP guys can benefit from SSRI head meds because they cause permanent sexual dysfunction even after stopping the medication. Interesting. Interesting. Good to see X Mask. To the younger generation, be careful to open your heart to a female. It is blank to your soul. It's not easy. It's not easy, men between the age of 18 and 30. 67% are single. 18 to 30-year-old women, 72% are in relationships. What's that tell you? And they are liberal, whereas the men are conservative. Forensic accounting. Yeah, my ex tried to get a forensic accountant. Didn't find anything because Discovery showed all my accounts. It was a waste of her money. Then again, you can't fix stupid. If I had to guess, Rad, I'd say they'll probably consolidate under Match Group. Yeah, probably. It'll be the same thing. What will governments do when they realize so many men have escaped? There must be a tipping point. That's a great question, Nick. I mean, a lot of guys are like, when is it going to come back? It's not. The modern day relationship is going to be very difficult to ever get back to the 90s. At least I think probably the last years of decent marriages were the 90s. I got married in 97. We dated, we courted, we did all the things that we should have, but I don't see that going on anymore. But it ain't going back. It's a travesty. This whole world is going to fall apart. It's going to be wiped again. The hard drive of the world is going to be wiped, and then we're all going to appear with sticks and stones like caveman again. And they're going to find all this old technology and say it's aliens. I don't know why guys don't want to read the fine print. Because guys live in the fantasy shaka that they can fix it or that theirs is different. You know, they've got the golden one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe electronics too. I like the idea of repairing it, save the old technology. There you go. Forever Bachelor is becoming very popular. Which one is Forever Bachelor? There's one called Every Man Needs a Story. He's a balder man. He's probably late 50s. I'm not a big fan of the John Griffin guy. I listened to him for a while, but I just can't stand. He's got those 4 dogs that he just drags around. Like he's got so many. It reminds me of a woman that has done a ton of dogs. He says some good things, but just for some reason, his delivery is a little different for me. I'm in love. Everything's just great. She touches me. Fine print. There you go. You did not marry her. You married her mother-in-law. Well said, Red Brick. If I can give any man advice, go date the mother-in-law because that's what you're getting. It's never coming back, but someone's going to have to support the crying women. Mm-hmm. Well said, Nick. My parents were married in 90, still married. Probably the only marriage I know of that lasted. Oh, they're a few years older than me then. There you go. Brian Davis in the chat. My late friend was a jeweler. He was saying how the jewelry stores are suffering bad because men aren't getting married. Well, who buys the jewelry? The man. Well said. Well said. Yeah, men are looking at, well, I'm going to spend 15 grand on a rock, which will probably be within 5 to 7 years, pawned by her when she leaves me. No. America is very, it's an insatiable legal lust. The only freedom is to protect yourself. Yes. Try never to ever enter into a contract with any other individual in your life. A birth certificate for a child of yours is a contract with the state and with her. A marriage is a contract. A rental agreement is a contract. Try to stay out of any sort of thing that could get you in front of a judge. But you're right. We live in the most, we need tort reform bad. Mars in the chat. Good to see you, brother. We need tort reform, but it's never going to happen because the legal system is a huge business. Go watch the documentary Divorce Corp. Divorce literally fuels and gives freedom and retirement to the nation's court system and court employees. I would have ran if I knew I married the mother-in-law. Oh, if I would have known that, I would, because my mother-in-law was a battle axe. And she's turned into her mother. David's bridal went bankrupt a few years ago. I think I remember seeing that. Average size of a woman is 5'3", 175. Never forget, man, they also shit like we do. They're not goddesses. Yeah, there's no golden box, folks. There's no golden box. I have not kept up too much on it, but did he? Yeah, they were celebrating him. Apparently, he got off on some of the big charges. Who knows? Conspiracy? Somebody knows something? A lot of them are. X-Mask. I was put Divorce Corp on my channel and they snapped it right away. There you go. I can't imagine look, if you want to make a lot of money going to divorce, but can you imagine listening to the same shit every day? Like the same negative, all the same. All divorces are the same. Woman wants to get as much money and much custody as she can and make the man suffer. That's the theme of all women. They want to knock that guy. They want him just depressed, wishing he could get back with her and then take all of his money and take all of his time and take all of his kids. That's the whole plan. And you need a good attorney to protect you. He got off on, I think, the RICO charge, one of the big ones. Apparently he's going to do some time on some other things, but yeah. Too many corrupted politicians whose only goes their bottom line like money. The system needs to be revamped. It's not going to happen, though. Not going to happen. Peace, quiet, and freedom. But that was actually I heard it from a few others. Big John used to say it. Greg Adams used to say it. I think a lot of guys have said that, peace, quiet, and freedom. Unicorns only exist in the princess fairy tales Disney fills young girls' heads with. And those are not good stories to fill a girl's head with. Trust me, when a girl thinks she's a princess, that goes straight through life. That firstborn daughter of mine, we said she was a princess, and she is still a princess. That was a good question as well. Rad, if you could get in the DeLorean, what are you telling a young Rad? Never get into a contract that'll put you in front of a judge. That's what I would say. Have some fun. Enjoy life. I wouldn't have kids. I wouldn't do kids. Not that I don't love kids. What the potential of having them could cost you down the road. I'm not saying that women, 98% of women are not recommended. There is a 2%. That's about 80 million women in the world. So I'm sure somebody can find a 1 to 2%er. But, you know, I wanted kids. I came from 2 of 6 kids. I was the second of 6. I had lots of brothers and sisters. We had fun. You want to extend your family line. These are, you know, these are the things you would do. I don't know. Maybe I'd go back and have them in another country where they didn't have the laws like the United States. They charged him with the Mann Act. Well said, Shaka. He knows something. I'm sure he got a light sentence. He's probably going to get 10 years and get out in 4 for good behavior. I recommend watching the movie War of the Roses. Yes, great movie. That is a good movie, man. You guys want to watch a divorce? They're in love till the end, and they fight over everything. Vita Sanchez, Marcela, good to see you. Hope you are well. Recovering from your trip in Spain. Don't let a lady pressure you into a relationship. Men must have options. I agree. And options come from self-validation. Go figure. I would tell my younger self to know thyself and do for thyself. Also to be yourself, stay to yourself, and trust nobody. Well said. Shaka says 8 to 1. 8 out of 10. 8 to, or are you saying 8 to 10? Okay. I'm going to Taiwan soon to see their bicycle factories. Taiwan. Oh, yeah. Apparently, there's like 3 bicycle factories in the world, and they create all of the bikes. I know my Santa Cruz mountain bike, I think they make a couple other big brands in that, like Trek, Scott, maybe Canon. But yeah, that'd be cool. What country would you have kids and raise a family? Probably Latin America. I would do Latin America. Wouldn't do Europe. Europe is they've got too many rules. Nick Vincent, imagine how many guys quietly stayed in the marriage for the kids, then they turned against him. Oh, a lot of them do. Oh, gotcha. 8 to 10 years. That's probably what I'm thinking. And he'll probably get out. Do it all over again. But you know what? It's a legal system. The jury obviously acquitted him on those charges, so you never know. You never know what's going on. Jawara in the house. Good to see you, brother. Don't listen to that family telling you to get all this medical stuff done. Nothing much, just chilling. Okay, you guys are chatting it up. So that is the reality. Your superpower is a self-validating concept of yourself. Your kryptonite is external validation in the form of a woman, in the form of text messages and emojis and all that shit, in the form of TV commercials telling you to go buy roses and diamonds. Now, those that are in the 1 to 2%, great. I think that spending money to get the attention and validation of a woman is not the right way to do it. If you want to take somebody to dinner, I don't see a problem with that if it's a decent woman. But it is what it is. We got dry heat today. It's about 88 today. Had kind of a monsoon storm last night. A lot of rain. He went from $1 billion in 19 to 400 million and dropping. Interesting. I don't know. To be one of those high-level rappers, you never know. Everyone is always looking for the next best thing. I had what I thought was a good evening with the guy I was dating, only to find on a dating app the next. Ooh, Vita. Sorry to hear that. Who was this? Was this a newer one than the last one? If you live here, 4 months of income is just right. How about no ring? Yeah, 4 months. Is it? I think it's 6 months of income. Is it 4 months? Maybe that's right. 88. Yeah, what is the weather right now? I know we're going to have 85 here in the next day or two. In fact, I didn't even turn my AC on. So what do we got here? What's today's? 88, 64 and 88. Sunday night. Oh, it's going to be 94 tomorrow. Looks like. Not like Vegas, Shaka. Weren't you guys like 107 or something? He's going to have to just go missing, like not in the public eye. But you never know. All those egos and that stuff. I mean, his whole reputation is tarnished, right? But so are a lot of people. I don't know. Being famous today doesn't sound fun. I wonder if Johnny Depp feels like after that Amber Heard that being famous was all cut out because she took him based on his fame, right? And money. Dad's notice of alimony. DNA. Well said, Red Brick. I depended on almost $7,000 on my stupid marriage rings. I have to go to K Jewelers 2 times a year for inspection. Every time I go, I want to throw it out, maybe hit the ocean or flush it. I bought my ex's ring. It was $4,000 in 1996. It was a nice 1/2-carat stone. Princess cut, looked nice. It had some baguettes. And then 2 months after we got married, she wanted a different ring. Go figure. So I traded the diamond in, and we had the gold. And I had the goldsmith put the new diamond in a different form fitting, and that was fine. At least I got the money I paid for the diamond. I added another couple grand and got a new of it. It's never good enough. Get your ring from a cracker box. Now what I'm seeing is a bunch of these people are wearing rubber rings, literally. White rubber rings, black rings. I don't know. I think they keep their, I don't know. Apparently lab-grown diamonds are a thing now. People are buying those. They're like 80% less. Do I think Lauren, that's a great question. I think that, yes, I think she got so much attention that, let's be honest, man, there's a lot of money at stake. Even though she probably has a prenup, I'm sure in that prenup, she has an exit plan. There is a safety parachute or incorporate a golden parachute. So she's probably guaranteed, this is my guess. He's worth $1 billion. I bet he guarantees her. He's worth 170 billion. Let's just say every year they're married, 20 million a year. Something like that. Maybe 50 million. I mean, what's $1 billion to Jeff Bezos with 160 billion? 50 million at 20 years would be $1 billion, right? By then he'll probably be a trillionaire. So there is an out clause, and I guarantee, of course, the chick's a gold digger. Is she that attracted to Jeff Bezos or Jeff Bezos' reputation, status, and money? Replace woman's validation with excelling in your hobbies, interests, sports, and whatever. Well said. Self-validation, guys, is your superpower. If you're enjoying life, if you are progressing on your purpose, doing the things you need to do, traveling, being by yourself, learning new things, you have a very high concept of self-validation. If you're not doing those things and you're feeling down, you're feeling alone, you're feeling just not productive, you have a low value of self-validation where you seek external validation. Now, a lot of us have been there. We can get past it by doing things. by believing I am worthy of good things. Just by saying that every day, I am worthy of good things. I am getting better every day. I am increasing my wealth every day. I am getting healthier every day. That's self-validation. In my honest opinion, being famous was never really fun. So many scandals that was swept under the rug in Hollywood. And now, since we live in the information, secrets are being, I can't imagine like the life. They can't go anywhere. They're always hounded. They're always looking over their shoulder. Who's seen me doing disguises and so forth? They got to take helicopters everywhere. They got to go on vacation where nobody goes, but except the paparazzi finds them. It doesn't sound fun. Then they became egomaniacs and they divorce everybody and they have all sorts of issues and problems. And I think the only cool famous guy is Keanu Reeves. I mean, he seems just to be so chill. Like he doesn't care. They always have an exit plan, calculator, not. Well said, Shaka. Well said. The duty of a wife is full-time job, and ladies don't want to put in the work. I would say a majority of women do not like that. They want to travel and spend money. Brian Renard, currently 36, plan on spending 40s, 50s, and 60s traveling and reading books. Go read the old classics of Mice and Men, Grapes of Wrath. What else? I like some Hemingway. I like some Tolstoy, Russian guy. Read the old classics. John Steinbeck books. What a different time that was. What a different time. Nino in the chat. It's great to see men getting healthy. This channel is just the best. Appreciate that. You guys up in Canada had Canada Day, July 1st. Today is the Venezuelan Freedom Day. So it's their 4th of July, but it's the 5th of July when Simón Bolívar liberated Venezuela. A lot of liberation in July. Ladies don't surrender their values to deal with men. Quite the opposite. Sure. Well, if a man has to surrender to a woman, that's unfortunate. His values. And he's not strong. You got to stand in what you know is right for yourself. And a lot of guys won't do it because they don't want the wrath of a lady. But I bet that woman would respect him more if he stood up for what he believes. Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie, one of my favorite. Yeah, good book. Is my voice the same? Yes. I might use fancier words. Congruent. Let's see, what else? Synergy. It would depend on the conversation. Though what I do in work is I try to get hospital and health systems to save money by improving their experience with technology. That's what I do. If I can get that message out, I win. But I say it all the time. I am the best. I am the best rep in my space. Guess what happens when that happens? Everything forms around you to prove that statement correct. It's just to say, if you said I'm a loser every day, I guarantee you would find experiences and reality would show you that you're a loser every day. So why don't you take that and say, I'm successful every day, and let reality prove that to you? This is not woo-woo stuff. Ask and ye shall receive. Know that I am. All right, in the old good Bible. This is ancient words of wisdom. The Hermetic principles of Hermes talked about this. You are the cause. The effect is not on the 3D external world. You determine your potential. Simple as that. Coach is streaming 9 hours a day. He wants that. He wants those super chats, doesn't he, Jawara? I haven't seen an episode of him for quite some time. Thinking about it, we're living in a time where women are willing to die on the blank. We live in a world that you can't make sense of it. The only thing you can make sense of it is your own self-awareness. Who are you and who do you want to be? Simple as that. And you push yourself. You align yourself with the message where you want to go. If you want to be a loser, go get with the loser groups, right? You are who you hang out with. My dad would always say that. Don't hang out with those losers because you'll be a loser. He was right. Quit hanging out with them. I started hanging out with the good guys that skateboarded in high school. All those losers continue to be losers. To this day, they're 50-year-old losers. They didn't excel. They just held on to this subconscious programming that they were losers, and reality reflected back to them that they were losers. Bad health, bad decisions, multiple baby mamas, dealing with court systems, the popo. So change your idea about yourself. Just basic. I am worthy of good things. If you said that every day, 5 times a day for a year, and you report back good things that have happened, that's all because of you. And someone's listening. The old universe, something's in this crazy universe is listening. It's picking up. Big world. How does Mormon teaching differ from other Christian? There's a lot of Christianity within it. You'll have to go and read that. I would Google that. Mormon thinking versus mainstream Christian. Shaka Lulu, 5 losers, you're the 5th. Attaboy. Ran into a guy in the hot tub when I was just right out, left the marital house, and he was going on his 4th marriage. And I said, man, I said, I'm coming out of a divorce. I could never imagine myself married again. He goes, oh, I love marriage. I just picked the 3 bad ones. And I said, how's the 4th? He said, I don't consider myself a failure in marriage. I learned a lot. I just picked the wrong ones. I mean, talk about self-manipulation of whatever. I'm not going to judge. Men can't call a woman out on her BS. She only responds to actions. Well said, X-Mask. That's called the dread game. I like the Tao Te Ching, by Lao Tzu, not a bad guy. What Alan Watts talks a lot about the Tao Ching. Yeah, I think that's a great. I should probably get more into that. I don't know a lot about it. I would like to get into that. I also like Rumi, the Persian poet. I'd like to read a lot of his stuff. There's no real difference between any religion. All of them dupe you in some sort of way. A little bit of control. Back in the day, a guy would only see maybe 100 baddies in his lifetime. With social media, it's endless options. Well said, Vita. Marcella. Self-manipulation. Well, he's just trying to figure out. Why does a guy get married 4 times? He's lonely. He seeks his external validation from others, typically a woman in this, well, 4 women in this case. He's not. If he had self-validation, he would start working on himself. But most men will get out of marriage and find the quickest path into another marriage, and they suffer. How long are guys going to keep blaming social media? Probably forever. Forever. If every one of us had self-validation in marriage and relationships, where would we be today? Probably in a great place. Tommy Lauren got more surgical work done to try to look. Isn't she like 30? I mean, 20-year-olds are getting Botox. It's crazy. 20-year-olds are going on testosterone. Go figure. In the gym. Insanity is the only answer, says Shaka. Well said, brother. When gender roles are functioning and respected, things work blissfully. The Armenians in Los Angeles have it right. Their areas blossom. Well, I think there's value in specific female and male roles. I'm old school in that thinking, but that thinking is not very doable today. 198 times a damn charm with some guys. I mean, look at all of the who's a guy that's been married a ton of times that's an actor? I think Stallone was only married twice, right? Maybe 3 times. But there's a couple of them that have been married like 6 times. Call your brother. I know. Well, I know. I can tell you the differences, but that's a different discussion. Relationships are like a job, and modern men are not the boss. Well said. Difficult to maintain relationships with the majority of women. Not all women are bad. Not all women are programmed to think like the rest. There are some decent ladies out there, my sister being one of them. But they're very difficult. And if you do find one, it's still a challenge to be in a relationship because we have different programmings. This is off topic, but I remember John McCain daughter was nice looking. Now she's, oh yeah. What is her name? Cindy McCain. She went nuts too. Europe, good to see you, brother. Brad Pitt is dating a girl that I think is 32. And Google it. And he's what, 63? At least he's away from that crazy. Can you imagine marrying Angelina Jolie? I think you know what I think what happened? I think she sort of brainwashed him. She's crazy. I think she got in his head. I know some dudes who remarried the same ball and chain. I've known that. Apparently, if you remarry an ex-wife, you have a 95% chance of divorce within the first 2 years. Everyone that I know that remarried the wife divorced. And it went worse and went quicker. Rad, it's AWOL, always have been. Outliers don't count. I respect that. But I guarantee my brother and his wife will be married forever. My oldest one and my sister will be married to her guy. Will it be an easy marriage? I mean, is marriage, I mean, they're physically married. They live under the same roof. They're financially married, but are they happily married? That's another story. Maybe they have issues. Who knows? Most celebrities are part of the cult, so they're going to do what they're told to and get married as an example to us peasants. Well said. I think the best thing for a man is accept everything and move on. No matter what you do, every woman will always be nagging and complaining. They are never happy because they hate themselves. A lot of them do. Yeah. It can't be easy to be a woman today in a lot of ways. Now, it's probably easy for them to get the attention of men, but it's not probably very easy for them as they're dealing with their cohorts and people around their peers, because everyone's trying to get younger, hotter, more richer with the guy. I mean, it can't be easy. And with all the head meds and the alcohol, they are aging quicker and hitting the wall much quicker than ever before. It's got to be an extremely depressing situation to be a modern day female when all they're seeking is youth and beauty and status. I think, Mars, you're right. I think she got into his head and used them lips. Yeah, we call those CSLs. Blank, blank lips. Have you liked the girls your sons have brought around? So my middle boy doesn't have a girlfriend. He's like, Dad, these women are crazy. He's working. He's doing his self-validation. He's doing good. My youngest does have a girlfriend from high school. She is a nice girl, but she's liberal. She's not into makeup, youth. I know she's studying to be a nurse practitioner, so she's focused. She's a firstborn, but I'm not anti. I try to tell them, you're young. People change very quickly between 18 and 20, 20 and 22, 30 and 32. People change. Just hold on. Don't invest your heart because it could be broken. John Voight, yep. He's a very, very conservative man. Her kryptonite is taking accountability, and the kryptonite of 99% of men is one-itis, and they can't live alone. Absolutely. That one-itis is based on no self-validation. Simple as that. If there was one message for all men's channels, if I could leave one message, it would be work on yourself. Work on your own validation. That is going to get you the furthest and quickest in life if you can get to that point. Most men can't. A guy that deletes himself, low value of self-validation. External validation was more important, right? And we get it. Seen a lot of guys go through it. But every man is a good man somewhere within himself. Now there are horrible type of men too. But those that tried hard to make things happen, there's goodness in all of us. Only females can hold other women accountable. Good luck with that. Well said, X-Mass. Scotty in the chat. Good to see our brother Scotty Side in Beaverton. Making his videos. Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. Life is too short. Enjoy your nice meals and your peace. Sometimes we think we have time and we don't. Correct? Shaka, big comment here. Most guys hate that message. Yes, they do. They hate that message that their only way out of this crazy world is self-validation because they're looking for it in somebody else. We all did it at one point. I just see a lot of just unnatural, unattractive fat women and with red and blue hair. Yep, the sisterhood is stronger than her respect for men. Well said. Scotty says, and there's a bunch of those nose tackles with pink hair in Scotty's town. Scotty says, I've suffered from one-nights many times, such a waste of time and energy. Never again. Goes back to external validation when one's got one-nights. She's everything to him. She's the one that makes him, wakes up in the morning, makes him feel good. There was nothing wrong when my ex would come in and scratch me, says she loved me, made me feel good. But I look back and I say, I'm the one that needs to tell me that I look good and that I'm happy and I'm a good person. That'll go a lot further. Society really does like to pull men down. Who doesn't support the social norms? Well said. She-Hulk actress died last month. They think her boyfriend blanked her. Interesting. What was her name? T-Talk, good to see you, brother. Stoicism and rational thought is our savior. Well said. That's basically self-validation. Being stoic with yourself, working on yourself, pushing yourself to be better and better. Marcus Aurelius, go study him. That's why Maxon is a big phrase now. Chin Maxon, John Maxon, face Maxon. What about bald Maxon? What can I do, Shaka? I'm a bald Max. I'm going to get a wig. Wig Max. I'm going to wig Max myself. I have been bald. I shaved my head at 21 years old, 32 years ago. A lot of guys get weirded about their insecurities with baldness, but bald is so accepted now, nobody gives a damn. Deliverance. Here, piggy, squeal like a piggy. No respect, and if she doesn't know what she wants are the biggest red flags. Well said. Well said. If any message for the men today is you work on your self-concept, that small pebble you throw into a pond will change the entire shoreline. That one small pebble could be a thought, could be you losing a half a pound, could be you learning a new thing to cook. If you don't know how to cook steak, go learn how to cook it. I made bread. I've made bread multiple times, rustic bread in a Dutch oven. And I was so excited about it. It was like 4 ingredients, but the fact that I did it and I raised it and I made it, I cut it and it looked wonderful and I put butter on it, man. Basic bread. But guess what? I'm like, man, I'm badass. I made bread. Shit like that. If she shows you mixed signals on a date, she's wasting her time. The crazy shit is even happening to me and just honest women are brain flooded. There you go. I'm not religious, but there's a great Bible passage, Acts 4:12. Salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved. Well said. And Proverbs says, life and death is in the power of your tongue. And that's what we're talking about. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Proverbs. I do think it is, Ty. Well, I don't know if it's cooked at this point, but there's such a divide right now. Who knows what'll happen? Can I Stone Cold Steve Austin? Sure. Nick, these ancient philosophers knew what they were talking about. One, we didn't hear about them in the educate. No, we didn't. They removed all that stuff. Think about countries if the men learned to be strong, masculine men. A family member still asking, when are you getting another woman? I said, never. Then I said, there's too many choices for them, so I won't compete with no Chads or Tyrones. There you go. Just ask them, say, I'm still looking for that unicorn. Yeah, and they'll come back, well, you're too picky. It's always something. My ex was tender and sweet. The night before, the popo came and gave me a 5-minute to vacate. There you go. That's what they're like, even when they filed a divorce. It's like something going on in their brain. Consistency is the key for everything. Most men think they must give daily 100%. No, that's wrong. If you give daily 10%, it also, yeah. It just, look, slow and steady wins the race. The rabbit and the hare. Work on yourself. It's no rush. If you need to lose 60 pounds, don't lose it in the first week. 5 pounds a month for a year. And every one of those pounds will be a victory. Dwayne lost 45 pounds earlier in the chat by not eating sugar. He didn't lose it all in a month, but after probably 6 to 12 months, he's down. What a self-validated man that is. I bet he looked in the mirror and said, I'm a fucking badass. That's what we're talking about, man. Little things like this. Cutting a record. Scotty's going to be on tour. Little things. Those little wins in life are the key. She's not the woman you think she is, says Europe. Public school teachers are a bunch of crazy women. A lot of them. Even a lot of the men are feminine. Delart, good to see you, brother. Hope you are well. You still playing your little bass or your little, did you get the little, was that Gerald or you? The amplifier that I have. If a woman is focused on herself and the man is focused on the woman, then who is focused on the man? Nobody. Just like most men are invisible. I think self-validation is such a strength to master. Not needing others' validation is a weighted lift off your shoulder and is true freedom. That is exactly what we're talking about, Scotty. Appreciate you saying that. Once you self-validate, it is a superpower. Because then you realize that all you need is yourself. Now, if somebody comes in your life, great. But you know you're strong enough to deal with your own issues, your own insecurities, your own challenges, your own anxiety, if you do have anxiety, whatever. It's the little things. And as you build upon that, brick by brick, you're going to become invincible. You're going to know the shit that comes at you. You're going to be strong enough to deal with it and process it and not run to somebody else to fix it. That's what men do. Men want to be fixed by women. They see their little 5-year-old boy within them. They want their mother to love them, and they try to look for it in a woman. That never works. As far as a couple of throws of the lady, what's the average guy's best bet? Meeting in person, sure. Best way to do it. He was abusive and controlling, well said. Most men aren't actually invisible. You make yourself invisible and you want the validation. Sure, that makes sense. That's good theory right there. They want the woman to make them visible. They want to be fixed. They want that little 5-year-old to be protected by a woman, which is the opposite of what men should be doing. I did get to meet Kurt Cobain when I was 15 years old, 1987, Pine Street Theater in Portland, Oregon. I don't know what the Pine Street Theater is called today. It used to be La Luna. It was before Dave Grohl. And they opened up for the Melvins and Tad. No, Mudhoney and Tad, sorry. No, it was Tad and Mudhoney. And the Melvins they're the godfathers of grunge anyways. I think Kurt Cobain was a roadie for him. Yeah, I don't think he deleted himself. Self-validation starts when you shift your mindset, do everything for yourself. You will have another aura and energy. Everyone will sense it. You are doing it for yourself and not for the thrill. Absolutely. If you're doing self-validation for anybody else, they're going to pick up on it. You got to do it for yourself. You got to look in the mirror and say, I'm good enough. I'm worthy enough for good things. That's all you got to say. Watch your reality shift in your belief in that. And you could doubt it, but just, keep saying it. Great song. Good stuff. Bloom, another good one. KL, good to see you. We are all programmed to serve the gynocracy. It's a long journey to escape that program. Yeah, so is Adam. Goes back to Adam and Eve, right? Adam wanted to validate. He didn't want to make Eve upset, so he ate of the fruit. Anyhow, guys, it's been a great stream. We'll see you on the next one. I appreciate all your comments. Every single one of them is value and power in them. I learn a shit ton from you guys as well, and I think it's terrific we can share this. 99, a lot of problems Chads have too. D-Man, good to see you, brother. I'm probably gonna have to make you Master Wrench now. Rock stars are a different breed. Axl Rose, yep. Seraphim, good to see you. Stay strong. We'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Enjoy the weekend. Peace.